Welcome to one of my Runeterra highlight videos. I highlight a different deck almost every single day of the week. If you enjoy the content, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Enjoy. So, go Twisted. So, the Twisted part of that deck name is Twisted Fateer. So, 2/2 for 4 with quick attack, so decent attacker. When it comes into play, you play a Destiny card, which gives you your choice of 3 different options here. So, either you get to draw a card and refill your spell mana, deal 1 damage to all enemies and their nexus, or deal 2 damage to the strongest enemy and then stun it. So, Twisted Fate level up mechanic is when you've drawn 8 cards, and one issue kind of turbo Twisted Fate decks have had in the past is if you put a bunch of cards in your deck that draw a bunch of cards, you just end up spinning your tires and like churning through your deck, not impacting the board when you don't have Twisted Fate. Hey, Kingpin Ben, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for shipping me your Bezo bucks this way this month, keeping me employed. And the other part of our deck's name, the Go part, and Go Hard here is another card that really rewards us for drawing a lot of cards each game. So your first 3 copies of Go Hard, just drain 1 from a unit and then make copies of itself into your deck. And then the 4th copy turns into a Pack Your Bags, which deals 5 damage to your opponent's board and their nexus. Happy Turkey Day to you, Luck No Numbers. Thanks for the sub gifties. Good evening. To all of our new members of Hooglandia, you should check out the Discord server for the new subs. A lot of great Runeterra chat, politics, other gaming, lots of good stuff going on in there. Now, there are a few different ways to build the details in this archetype. The last time we played Go Fisted, Go Twisted. That was a heck of a mush mouth to fumble into. DJ Smith, thanks for the prime. Welcome to Hooglandia. We played 3 copies of Elise. In this build tonight, I'm only playing 2 copies of Elise. And the reason for that is one of the issues I kind of felt like we had last time was our deck kind of lacked some top-end closing power in the late game once we stalled to get there. So instead of playing 3 copies of Elise, I've got a cheeky Gangplank at the top end, which some of these builds have been playing, and something that's a little bit less common that I've elected to do here that I think sounds sweet is I've elected to play 1 copy of the Dreadway, Gangplank's Boat. So we only have 1 Gangplank to draw, but the Dreadway kind of gives us access to a second virtual copy of it as well. And the Dreadway is super cheeky if you get to tell your opponent to pack your bags while it's out, because then you'll do 10 to everything. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this and see how it feels. Saren Shadowbane, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. They were drag on, now they're drag off. Do you have children, J-Ray? I forget. I really hope you have children after that one. I'm pretty sure you're not legally allowed to make that joke without them. So they are Diana Oriental here. It's a bit of a brew from the opponent. 2-year-old daughter, perfect. It all checks out then.
Where are you?
Where are you?
Please, I have connections.
If they go to eat my keg here, I draw a card with it. If I do this and they Bile Beast me in response, I feel really sad. I don't have anything else I really want to do with my mana this turn, though. Yeah, I'm giving them a chance to trade removal for this, which might be wrong. I don't think I want to do this into my 2-1. Just like do this, red cards your spiders attack you for 4.
Never played one. I'm a people person.
sunlight guide you, my brethren.
This attack is bad into Pale Cascade. Yeah, I should probably just pass here. Ghosted! Thank you for the 20 months of support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, boop.
Witness glory!
Gotta go with the flow.
Kinda surprised they didn't do that pre-combat. They could have gotten a Diana to play down, right?
Like a fish in water.
That egg. Did it move?
Let's do this.
So Twisted Fate's at 4 out of 8 here towards leveling up. This puts him to 5 out of 8. Next turn's draw puts him to 6 out of 8. And then Salvage is going to level him up. So we're going to have a level Twisted Fate next turn.
For silver I thought, for gold I listen.
For gold I listen. We're going to start drawing cards with Twisted Fate. Let's get Go-Hards into our deck. Alright. We're doing an extra deck tonight. My old man legs are starting to get tired, so let's sit back down.
Now this game's heating up.
Bounty Bowl knows me, aye.
Soak it in.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
What's that you got there?
Yeah, it turned out really well, Seth. Super happy with the result. So my opponent's on an SI deck, so they could technically have an extinction here, right? A ruination.
There's nothing to fear.
It's a good ending board state for us, I think. So they killed my Twisted Fate. Their board is dead. We're attacking for a bunch.
All that glitters.
Worth noting, our thing is the last thing on the stack here, so they're going to get priority here, so they could play a 1 or a 2 drop out. Twisted Fate got himself some appropriate value here. And hey, look, there's another one. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, we haven't even used Pack Your Bags yet this set, right? We're still just, like, coming along.
was I?
Where was I?
Embrace the night. The moon is our queen. The night, her kingdom.
Now the real question here is, do they have a bastion? I'm targeting this to play around. I'm targeting this one to play around them having a Vile Feast to kill this.
Go on then.
Watch the
Go
ball,
on, man.
folks. I'm a people person.
We only have 13 cards left in our deck, but remember at least one of them is a go hard. So like we can't really deck out. Huh? Oh, this is another Twisted Fate. Huh.
Eyes open.
There's plenty of killing left.
So far I have Oyer, but we also have yet to play any matches where Go Hard is good. We've mostly been playing against decks where the deal ones haven't been stellar, so I feel like my answer there is a little bit biased. Crumble and Vengeance has both been really good. Rhyme and Lucker, thanks for the follows. Appreciate that.
I cannot turn back. I will be heard.
I am reborn of salt and brine. I rarely forget. Never forgive. I won't stop coming for those who wronged me.
RPG started playing the game a few days ago and digging it. There's lots of cool keywords and mechanics. I'm not sure which ones I really want to do. What's my favorite keyword / mechanic? Definitely Challenger. And the reason why I love units with Challenger is because they're basically the perfect mid-range threats, because Challenger units as a mid-range threat lets you be interactive against aggressive decks because they're kind of like removal spells, but they also allow you to apply pressure against combo and control decks, and mid-range is personally one of my favorite styles of archetypes to play. Diana is probably one of my favorite champions in the game because of that. She's a really, really elegant threat for that reason. Good evening, Legacy. Happy Turkey Day. Screeching Dragon. Yeah, you just great. Shyvana Screeching Dragon is a pair that I really love as well. Okay, so Draven Ezreal, again, this is a mid-range deck. Sometimes has aggressivist draws, but usually looking to go a little bit longer. I'm gonna mulligan the Doom Beast, don't usually want that in the opener here. You want to draw this late when you can trigger Nightfall easily. Elise and Zap tend to both generate card advantage here, so they're both great. We're also attacking on even, so we get to play this on 2 and attack. I'm gonna keep Crumble as just kill target things, sounds reasonable. It's a solid mid-range deck. If you check out my website, jeffhoagland.com, there is a Runeterra decks page up there. And I've got, I think, about a dozen decks sorted by aggro, mid-range, and control, where you can find my current favorite deck list for that archetype, as well as a short highlight video of me playing that deck. So you can take a look at how it plays out and get a feel for if those are play patterns that you like or not. Imp Hand, welcome to Oglandia, thanks for the follow. Another great place to look for deck lists that's actually referenced and linked on my site is Mobilinix. Has great meta pages as well. The one thing my site does that a lot of the other ones don't is I have videos, like I said, of me playing all of the decks, so you can get a little first-hand input on what they look like and how they play. I think I'm just gonna salvage into Doom Beast here. With these zaps in hand, I'm kind of encouraged to spend my mana down here, so that way I can get value out of the Attune, giving me a spell mana back. Into this trade here. I think this is fine for us. That trade is definitely fine. Yeah, in fact, I think with getting back to pack your bags in mind, I'm going to go ahead and go hard here before I zap, so that way there's 2 extra go hards in my deck when I do this, so I have a higher probability to draw them. If we're a little bit fortunate, this zap will draw a go hard, and so will this one. Great. Probably the same play, run this back before we do this, that way we have more of them in the deck. When this resolves, it puts 2 copies of it in. So, not only do we get to draw cards with this, but killing it before they Mystic Shot it means their Ezreal doesn't get a point towards leveling up, which is good.
Time for a true display of skill.
Boo.
The sun got me good. Through the coral.
Yeah, I'm actually, someone talked about scouts in chat. I'm actually not a huge fan of those Demacia aggro decks. I definitely greatly prefer, I greatly prefer the non-Demacia aggro decks. You got it. Shyvana is definitely more of my jam than like the scouts, heavier combat trick ones. So, opponent has like pretty decent looking open attacks here, but I do have this to kill their 4-1 at least. I might salvage. Do I care about the card advantage from this? Is a real question I have to ask myself. I might not. My hand is pretty full. Like, do I salvage to get the Nightfall trigger off of this? It would cost me 6 of my mana, and I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 cards in hand right now. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with no numbers. I think I want to do this to keep my health total high here so you don't get, like, burned out by mistake. But I don't think it's worth spending mana to salvage first. We got plenty of gas in the tank for the time being. Also notable is that like our next pack your bags is gonna be our next go hard is gonna be a pack your bags. Yeah, I like that Curvalace, Ray. Listen to this. For gold I listen.
Be nothing left when I'm done.
This one I think I want to generate a random off of. If this night falls, it gives you a random other non-champion nightfall card. One piece of feedback I have for Runeterra that this is actually the first time I've noticed this. This card explicitly says it generates a non-champion nightfall card. There are other cards in Runeterra that generate random things that don't say non-champion, but definitely don't generate champions. Like, University of Piltover is one that comes to mind, for example. That definitely does not give you champions.
I'll break this siege.
Rude. Bank some spell mana here. Vengeance this when they open attacks. Goodbye, friends. They have 12 damage, but like I'm at 18. Yeah, the dragon generators don't include Shyvana is another good one. Is it too aggro to pack your bags, these two idiots? It probably is, right? Yeah, I think I need to wait for a champion. No, like, I have another 8 damage rolled up.
Gotta go with the flow.
It's close.
Oh, I hear them!
Champions can't be generated. That's not true. Things like Howling Abyss generate champions. Also, like, if champions can't be generated, there wouldn't be a need to explicitly say non-champion on things like Nightfall. There's definitely a consistency problem there. The power of passing is definitely something that newer players have to learn. It's one of the biggest skills in Runeterra for sure, is mastery of the priority system and knowing when to pass and when to not. What's my favorite Shyvana shell? Definitely the Sunny Shyvana shell with Leona. That's up on my website. Fredwick, thanks for the 37 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All the really good competitive Runeterra streamers have a good mastery of the system. Alan, Swim, Mogwai, BBG, etc. His hand feels very Grixis. It does, doesn't it, Pelly? Yeah, you murdered him. He has died. What's a shell? A shell is like a core of cards.
They don't know what they're up against. Don't blink or you miss me.
Yeah, it probably should have been a pass, I agree. You'll note I didn't include myself in the list of Runeterra players that are good. Yeah, my lack of a pass there was bad. I definitely should have just held up the pack your bags. 100%.
Firing! No way!
I mean, this is a slow spell, so I needed a passer. The pass was the issue. Would I recommend to Escape Shift player? The Trundle Bundle deck on my website is the combo control deck if you're a Escape Shift player. Okay, so if I drop this, this puts me to 3. I pack your bags. We pack your bags. And then I drain this to gain 1, and then I open drain this to gain another 1, go to 5. So we're in a bad spot because I messed up my passing, but we have a plan to not die to this card at least. Obviously, we're dead to a stiff breeze past this, like, get excited, mystic shots, etc. All these things are bad for us, but we at least are not dead to this card we know they have. Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. If we draw another one of these, they die, right?
Played one. Blue as the serpentine.
Lots of things are lethal. Everybody clinch.
Time for the main event.
13 cards, about to be 15. A lot of go-hards in there.
If I kill you, I don't hurt you. Stupid.
Who doesn't love a good sweat, chat? Come on, hit me, dealer.
These are my rules.
I'm really glad this is a no justice stream, you know that? If you had to be good to win at card games, I wouldn't have a chance. Just like we drew it up.
Raven down. The party has arrived.
Very, very silly. Glad we were able to pull that out with a quirky line after I messed it up. I definitely should not have salvaged when I salvaged. That game was much closer than it needed to be because I made a mistake. Alright, so thoughts on this archetype after playing it again. I feel like I'm confident in saying I want some number of Gangplank in this deck. I feel like I definitely want at least 4 removal spells. The mix of both Crumble and Vengeance, the top end of our curve, felt really good. Not having, what's it called in my deck? Chronicler of Rune? Is that its name? This card was really awful last time we played it, and I did not find myself missing it at all. So yeah, I was pretty happy with this 40. The one cheeky card was like the Dreadway. We never really drew this card at opportune times when it was useful, but like I really like the idea of it in practice because I feel like I want more Gangplank, but I'm also really happy with Elise. I think some of our best starts involve Elise on 2, especially when you're attacking on evens. So I think overall I would probably leave this as is if I was going to play this archetype again. I don't think I would have any changes after playing this set through. Would you prefer a Ledros is the question, I think. Sure. Yeah, that could be a reasonable question. Like this is probably just worse, just cuter than Alendros. I think that's probably a reasonable assertion that this is a cheeky card and you should play Alendros. Yeah. Is it Chronicler's just really narrow and its stat line is really mediocre for a 4-drop?